Alright, welcome back. Hope everyone's having a lovely day, a lovely night, wherever you're from. And real quick, before we get started, I want to give a lovely shout out to the channel members on this channel. So thank you so much to these lovely commanders here that you see on screen. Thank you guys so much for your guys' generosity and your support. It really means a lot to me, so thank you guys so much. And if you're actually interested in becoming a lovely commander yourself, if you are interested in any of these cute and lovely emotes, the loyalty crown badges, if you want a special role in the Discord, make sure to join the Discord. But as always, if you choose to do so, thank you so much. Just remember that's not the only way that you can support me. Just watching the content like you are right now is truly the best way. Liking, subscribing, and commenting, everything really does help, so thank you guys so much. And for today's video, with the launch of the anniversary, I wanted to get some testing started. I know there's a lot of other creators that have already done it. I really wanted to go over everything new yesterday and get to the testing now. So let's just get started, and let's talk about Cinderella herself first. Because when we actually talk about Cinderella, I want to talk about her skills, her investments, and what type of cubes you should actually be using for her, because she is insane. So I remember at the start, right when they showed the kit, everybody was like, oh, this is gonna be Midrella. They were talking about how she's gonna be mid, the kit looks too simple, and as always, don't listen to what the community says, because sometimes they don't know what they're talking about, and you always have to worry about the testing, because that's where it matters, not just from the kits. With the testing done, a lot of people have already shown she's pretty damn broken, and I wanted to talk about her investments, because skill-wise, if you're really trying to figure out how to invest in her, if you don't have a lot of mats, because this game really, you kind of lose out on mats a lot, your best bet right now is to focus on 7-4-7. Now, the reason why you'd probably want to focus on that is because compared to her skill 2, with her skill 1, this is where you deal the most damage outside of the burst. The burst is majority of her damage, but at least compared to skill 2, your skill 1 still has something going on with it, so I still think it's very important. Now, that being said, though, I highly recommend her skill 2, though, because her decoy, the more you level it up, the more it's going to survive, so it's going to help in the long run. So after you get through the 7-4-7, I would highly recommend going 10-7-10. Now, as you can see, I already just went 10-10-10. I already gave her a purple doll, so I'm already good to go. I actually gave her OL gear level 5. And in terms of like the roles that you're looking for, I think the best bet is to at least try to get one good max ammo roll. I've gotten a good amount of elemental damage dealing. I was hoping I could at least get one good ammunition roll, and to me this is enough. So pretty good rolls for the most of it. And in terms of the cubes, as usual, I think resilience. If you're pairing her with crown, it doesn't really make sense to use resilience. So I personally recommend bastion, especially with the max ammo. You can just pretty much keep shooting like infinitely most of the time. So that's pretty good. But at the same time, just go with whatever you have the highest level for the stats. I personally use bastion and I recommend it the most. That being said, though, I've been seeing good news when it came to the vigor cube. So if you actually have a decent amount for the vigor, the stats that she actually gets from this healing cube right here for the max HP buff will actually help her. That's why it's really important to also use Rouge with her. And that's why I'm seeing a lot of people say Rouge stonks are going up. So just keep that in mind. Now, with all that out the way, let's actually get to testing. And there are two ways that I'm going to be testing. So the first way that I'm actually going to be testing is in the Union shooting range. And what we're going to do is actually just do a blind test with all off elemental and just going against fire right here for the weak point. And we're just going to focus solely on bosses. So what we're going to do is actually just have Crown here as like an ultimate buffer. Same thing with Litter. And then we're going to have Cinderella, SBS, and Naga here to buff Crown's skill 2. And we're just going to see who can take advantage of just off elemental, just normal damage dealing, right? And in my opinion, I know it's kind of debated, but in my opinion, I actually think that Scarlet Black Shadow is the most damage dealing character in the game right now. You know, she's balanced. So we're going to enter into the shooting range, and I'm just going to do a pure just DPS test run and see. My SBS has 2 stars and fully maxed out with, same thing with a good Bastion cube. And not only that, but she has a purple doll as well. So pretty even here, because even my Cinderella also has 2 stars. I'm just hoping I can luck sack the final copy. So we're going to test out and just see pure damage DPS. So by the end, we're going to come back real quick and just look at the stats and just give my honest opinion. So what I'm going to do is just be right back. So give me 1 second. And we're getting down to the final 3 seconds here. So we're about to see the results. And I'm going to be surprised if they're any different. But as you can see, I already actually got a new best damage here just dealing with off elemental, which is interesting. Now, when we actually go look at the results, I'm just saying, for the top DPS to be fighting and to be off element, the fact that Cinderella is doing so much in comparison to SBS, who's already an amazing damage dealer, by the way. I'm not trying to like discredit SBS. And obviously SBS could be doing more if you were to pair her with Alice and be manualing. But we're not doing that right now. We're just doing a straight auto comparison. And that's pretty interesting in my opinion. Like, that's crazy. The reason her kit is so simple is because her focus was on the way that she shoots. It's practically an MG, except it's for a rocket launcher. And her decoy as well. So all those little gimmicks that they gave her is why this damage output is insane. And obviously, she's a defender, but she's actually really a DPS. So really insane how she's already kind of another power crept character. But that's kind of to be expected with gacha games, and especially in this game as well, ever since the Red Hood incident. Now, what I do want to do though, is do a quick little just straight up electric DPS benchmark when it comes to just full on just against a weak point with electric. So we're going to have Crown here. We're going to have Rouge to buff Cinderella's max HP. And then we're going to just have Summer Anise and just Scarlet. And we're just going to have a pure DPS check and just see how it goes. Just to compare, because when we're looking at my Summer Anise here, when she's, you know, max limit broken, all level 5, 10, 10, 10, she also has a resilience cube. She has pretty decent lines. I'm not going to say perfect, but she has good lines for what they are. So she's in the same boat as well, and with a doll. So I'm expecting good things. And then, as always, our poor OG Scarlet just becoming a, you know, kind of a DPS benchmark. But she does have good lines, but we're just going to use her as a straight DPS and go from here with the boss. So as per usual, like we just did when it came down to the original testing, we're just going to just look at it for real quick, and then I'm going to cut back to it when we come back so we can look at the test results, and I'm going to give my final opinion on it, because she's pretty broken in my opinion, and that's just not something I'm going to say lightly. She is insane and a pretty damn good character, and I can't wait for Grave as well, because that's going to be huge for Red Hood. So I'll be right back with the results. Alright, and we're winding down, and something that I wanted to mention of why I chose Summer Anise specifically is that Summer Anise actually will buff electric type, so she could pair really well with Cinderella, and someone's maybe going to get another burst off, but unfortunately that didn't happen. So let's look. We actually got a new benchmark, so that's pretty cool. And with that new benchmark, the results are, yeah, that's an insane a lot more damage. Obviously Cinderella has an advantage just because she's just huge, just pilgrim damage, you know, it's going to be insane. But kind of wild comparing that with Scarlet over here. Obviously Scarlet didn't burst, but still pretty damn cool. And it's interesting how much Rouge does help Cinderella in terms of that max HP buff that she has for Rouge. So pretty cool. Now, would I recommend this team for solo raid? No, because that's a lot of electrics that you're using. Like, I would recommend instead of using Crown, I would honestly put in like maybe Blanc right here, and then just having Flex DPS right here. So like, you would have Blanc, Cinderella, Rouge, and then just like a Flex DPS or whatever. So you'd maybe put in, I don't know, maybe Noir or something for some reason. Like, just Flex right here. That's probably what I'd recommend for a Cinderella team for the solo raid. One thing we're going to end it on real quick just for fun is we're actually going to do the free for once a day recruit. Let's see if I actually manage to get the last copy that I need from this freebie. I doubt it, but hey, you never know. We're just going to do it real quick, and nope. All right, well, you know, it's going to be a dream, but hey, I'm going to keep doing that. I'm just going to keep trying. But for now, that's going to be it for me. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are with Cinderella. Like I said, I think she's absolutely amazing, busted, and kind of expected when it comes to these type of events. I'm really excited to see how Grave performs. Hopefully I have enough mats, but it's getting really hard, especially with credits and gear and stuff. So we'll see if I can manage something, but we're going to find out. But for now, that's going to be it for me. So I hope you guys have a lovely day, a lovely night, wherever you're from. And as always, thank you so much for the constant support. You guys are the absolute best. Take care.